Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the All Pro JAFFOs, where we bring you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I am your host, JP.
Hey, yo.
With me again, the best, greatest, w- um, magnificent, whatever fucking word you want to use for greatest DJ of all time, Mr. DJ Matt Sticks.
What's up?
Nobody tells DJ Request what to play.
Don't ever ask him to. Don't ever request shit from DJ Matt.
Nope. Go to norequest.com. Put your shit in there. It'll give me an alert. I'll get it then. Don't talk to me.
Don't interrupt the flow, people. That's the worst
Michael
thing that
Jackson
you can
say, just leave me alone. Shout out to MJ.
And joining us in a minute, obviously, the 6MB from Southeast Mr. Country K. Got a good show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Got some things to talk about that have been on our minds these last few days, as well as a conversation at the 8 o'clock hour with Hans Themistode to talk a little bit about what happened with Spence Crawford this past weekend and what the future holds for boxing. Talking a little bit of things with the NFL training camp and the chippiness. You know, you see a lot of social media going like, oh, you know, if they're fighting with each other, it's going to mean bad things and all this other kind of stuff. And it usually means the opposite. That we'll dive into that, and then a lot of things that are going on with young athletes getting into some issues with cardiac arrest stuff, and then talking about some rumors going around in the A7FL. So we're going to dive into all of that today, starting off with training camps. Now, Matchsticks, you being a former Dallas Cowboys fan, a lot of the training camp stuff that we've been seeing coming out of the NFL, one, Dak is throwing interceptions. Who'd have guessed? And two, a lot of the defense is talking some pretty mad shit to Dak Prescott. Now, oh, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the 6'10" beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K. But again, Matt Six, going into what we've seen, are you one? I think I know the answer to this question. Are you surprised at all seeing what we've been seeing from the Cowboys training camp? And then K, if you can answer this, why does it not usually mean what people think when fights and stuff like that start breaking out in camp? Meaning, people think because of those types of things happening in training camp, that means your season is, pretty much doomed because you can't get along. But Matt Six, starting with you, are we at all surprised with what's going on in training camp with
Nope.
the Cowboys?
Not at all. The same Dak, another year, throwing interceptions. He threw one today. I seen that. I don't know who he was throwing. I swear he was just throwing into the defense. Like maybe he fucking with the coaches or something. But he's garbage. I mean, defense been whooping his ass. Trayvon Diggs was talking shit to him. Told him to shut his bitch ass up yesterday. Michael Parsons hit him low during camp. Michael Parsons hit that fool. And then told the coach, he was like, oh, I'll be better tomorrow. And McCarthy was like, I hope not, for the offensive sake. So.
It is starting to get to the point where it kind of looks like at least the Dallas Cowboys defense doesn't really have a whole lot of faith in Dak Prescott to go into social media. I will not throw 10 interceptions this year. A lot of
The
people
defense
had
did
some.
their job. The defense been doing their job. It's Dak that ain't doing his job.
Exactly the point in the whole thing.
Defense doing their job. Where the fuck out?
Hey, they doing what they supposed to do. Hey, they can only take us so far.
Micah Parsons almost killed him. Micah
They ain't
Parsons
saying
almost took him
shit.
out big time.
Oh my god, they ain't saying shit. First off, that's just we talking like the Dallas Cowboys offensive line actually good. Like so, we talking. You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean, they ain't got Martin out there, Cam. We know that for sure. So
I mean, I'm trying to figure out again.
Yeah.
I said it to y'all off camera. But Zach Martin was a part of all of them offensive lines when they were sorry as fuck. Dak Prescott been there the whole time. So was Zach Martin. They ain't did a goddamn thing but 1 year, his rookie year. So Zach Martin been sorry as fuck for the last 5-6 years. So
I wouldn't say he's been sorry.
okay, all right.
I wouldn't say that because
So,
again, like one guy is not going to.
let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question before you finish your statement. Luke Gedeke. That was a big glaring hole in our offensive line with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers having one of the oldest quarterbacks in the league at the time and the best. So I hated Donovan Smith. I'm completely glad he's gone. But at the same time, Luke Gedeke was sorry as a motherfucker this past season. And it was like everybody was like, oh yeah, I'm going against him. Cam Jordan, Cam Hayward, goddamn all the Cams, motherfucking goddamn Aaron Donald, all of them, all of these guys that was playing are literally going on Luke Gedeke. They're like, fuck our scheme, put me right here. TJ Watt, put me right here. I'm finna fucking feast.
So you're saying that's how people were reacting to Martin?
No, I'm saying, all right, if I said that, then if that's what your interpretation of what I said, then somebody needs to go to the doctor. I didn't say that at all. You sit here and said one guy can't. I'm like, one guy can. One guy can be the full demise of 5 guys as a unit. They could be the full demise, full blown. And one guy also can shore up a whole offensive line. So, because I'm going to tell you right now, if we had Big Red the week before playoffs started and then we played the Cowboys with Big Red kind of coming in instead of playing the Cowboys with Big Red his first game back, it would have been a different story. Because the Cowboys was like, oh, they beat the Bucs decidedly. Yeah, they beat a beat up fucking Bucs team. They beat a beat up, battered Bucs team, and they barely did that.
I mean,
so
to be fair, last season the Cowboys, and I know this is weird coming from me, they were pretty banged up last season too.
Where in the fuck at? Where?
At left tackle, at right tackle.
Our whole offensive line was hurt at some point in time of the year.
But
my
saying,
whole offensive line, like
that doesn't erase the fact that
they weren't
had
banged up like that.
Injuries on the offensive line as well.
No, I'm saying my whole team. I just specified my offensive line because we had Brady, but I literally could go to my whole fucking team.
Yeah.
I'm only saying for the fact of Zach Martin as a unit, as an offensive lineman.
Okay, so then let me ask the former Cowboys fan, especially since he's seen, way more than we have. We only see on Sundays. He's paid attention to the team, inside and out. Matt Six, is Zach Martin probably, if not the best lineman on your team, or what are your views on him?
Yeah, I mean, on the team, and I get why Jerry holding out, or Jerry standing in the ground. He ain't gonna pay that fool. I mean, he can go get a younger player. I mean, Zach Martin, 32. Like, I'm not going to pay him all this money, and I can go get a young guy and pay him half that, and probably better than him. So there's plenty of young linemen out there that can fill that role. I mean, shit, Jerry, give me a call. I'm back in the gym tomorrow.
Get at the left tackle spot.
Yeah,
or the left guard.
They definitely can use you. The Cowboys can use you.
Making a pull on a counter play and just eliminating some fucking poor DB.
Yep.
But Kay, going into the question of like training camp fights and stuff like that, how common is that really at every level?
I mean, I haven't been a pro athlete, but I
Well,
can only
well,
guess.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Like
can
at
only
every
guess
level.
of what they got going on there, you know, based off of what we see and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a fight every year. The tension is gonna get high. Everybody just so eager to play, so eager to get back into football, and the energy is just extremely high. That's just pretty much all it is. The energy is extremely high. It happens every year. I mean, you can't really determine if they fighting or not, if they're gonna be good or not.
Yeah.
Like every team fights. You're just more the fact of how it gets displayed. You know what I mean? Or the gravitas they have for that team, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever energy that people got around the team, that's pretty much the reason why you're going. You know what I'm saying? Like the Cowboys be on TV for unnecessary reasons, but they on TV, so it's like we gonna see that shit. We gonna see that get called a punk ass bitch, even though I don't know why. First off, Lil Bachata is on some bullshit anyway. So I don't get. He came out on this bullshit earlier this year, talking about that shit y'all said earlier. Like, come the fuck out of here. He in mid-season form right now, like throwing picks and shit. But again, I'm not depicting
mid-season form. Right?
I'm not depicting.
Right.
I'm not depicting him throwing picks in training camp though, because like I said, everybody's healthy, everybody's 100, so everybody's playing at their peak ability right now. At least if they're healthy, you know what I'm saying, at the time. So I really ain't gonna just give him shit like that, because Joe Burrow out there throwing picks before he hurt himself. You got fucking Pat Mahomes throwing picks. Everybody throws picks. Like that just happens in practice, especially when you see somebody all the time. And then Trevon been there with him. So, and if you let hot hands get a pick,
a lot of these picks and a lot of the stuff is also due to the fact that it's training camp, and a lot of these quarterbacks just are practicing and wanting to try new things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know, they're
Nah, he was
obviously
like he
not
was
going to
doing the
practice
same
this stuff
bullshit
during
he
the
was doing last year.
brand new shit during the regular season. You know, but at least during training camp, see, you know, what they've been practicing in the offseason, see if it works out, and kind of go from there.
I mean, I necessarily can't get it.
But I mean, Dak with the underthrows and stuff like that. I mean,
I can't necessarily say that all quarterbacks are trying new shit in training camp, because everybody ain't Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes tries new shit. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady don't try a goddamn thing new. All 20 years, 21 years he played, he was doing the same mechanics. So I can't necessarily say it's every quarterback, and I wouldn't even put Dak in that fucking position saying he's trying new shit.
Or like testing the arm by putting it through tighter windows type of thing.
That wasn't even a situation.
There wasn't even no tight window.
Yeah, that wasn't even, that was just a regular ass. That was a regular ass pass. That was just a regular ass pass he fucking missed.
That shit was, it looked like he was throwing, to me, it looked like he was throwing it to three, was Anthony Brown, right?
Yeah.
You just hear the crowd just.
Yeah.
That's great.
Two other people, and you just gonna throw it over there like he gonna catch that shit.
For real. And I know you don't want to give him credit, but I saw Baker throw a pick earlier this year too. I mean, earlier this week too. So it's like, and that pick, he actually was trying to squeeze into a tight window.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like some of those, it's kind of like, I get it. They want to see where they're at when it comes to certain throws,
which is fine with me. That's fine. But Baker also today threw a fucking on two men. He threw a really good ball, and then Yuki, is he a rookie or a young guy? I don't know where he at. He could be 1 or 2 year, but he made a really good play on it. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't our ones out there, but he made a really good play. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't our ones on either side of the ball. So
did y'all see the catch that Pittsburgh
George Pickens? Yeah, I saw that. It was cool. It was on Joey Porter's son. It was cool.
That one was pretty nasty.
It was cool.
Yeah, it is against a rookie.
I ain't gonna just, he can't. So a lot of these players, you can't just give them the rookie pass if your daddy was in the league and was a fucking, you know what I'm saying, damn the Hall of Famer. Like, nah, bro, you was around the game. like Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry is amazing. But Dale was out there clipping shit too. Like he was a shooter. I'm not finna, you know what I'm saying? Their whole family full of shooters. So Steph becoming who Steph is makes sense. Seth becoming who Seth is makes sense. So yeah, like Joey Porter being in the league, Joey Porter Jr. being in the league makes sense, especially he took on his dad. JC Horn, same shit. It's a lot of guys out there where they parents played in the league and it makes sense why they there. Now, motherfuckers like Marcus Jordan, if he ain't had this whole Scottie Pippen saga right now, bro, he'll be a Team Jordan shoe, essentially.
But like we're at a point right now in training camp that we're starting to see quite a bit of injuries now. Joe Burrow, you know, with his calf strain or whatever it was that happened to him. Jalen, you know, we talked a little bit before about, you know, Jalen Ramsey's out for about what, 6 weeks, 6 months, something like that.
6 to 8 weeks, I think.
Yeah, that's the report to say, yeah.
and just it's pretty wild. And then now, Matchstick, you told me yesterday apparently Devontae Adams wants.
Yeah, he want. That's what they keep saying. He want out of Oakland.
Makes sense.
He said he's getting ready to demand a trade. He's trying to get over there with the. They saying he wants to go over to the Jets with Aaron.
That makes sense.
If he goes to the Jets, that's already a pretty stacked wide receiver room.
The fuck that mean?
I told Matt the same thing. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to do what Aaron Rodgers is going to do.
Hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now. You only thing y'all about to win is a fucking a beer drinking contest after the season over with. That's the only thing the Jets finna win.
We're finna win Super Bowl. Watch.
Man, a Super Bowl of fucking liquor. That's the only thing y'all about to win. The Super Bowl of liquor. Because Aaron ain't gonna do it.
I hate to say it, but it's gonna be the Jets and the Niners in the Super Bowl.
Oh my God. Hey, look, see, Mad Six drunk, y'all. Hey, Mad Six drunk, y'all. Hey, look. Hey, this disclaimer does not reflect the views of Country K, because he ain't going for that shit. I can deal with the Jets because they got all them players. They got all them players, but the Niners still got B Rabbit as their head coach. I'm gonna be honest with you. You just called two choking ass motherfucking teams right now, Masters. I just want to go ahead and let you know that Aaron Rodgers choke every year and B Rabbit choke every year. So
yeah, see, he only choked with the Packers though. So
what?
Yeah, that's some coaching. That's some coaching issues too over there.
Shit. He don't have multiple coaches. He don't have multiple coaches, man. He been choking the whole time.
Something about the cheese. Something about being over there with that cheese.
All right. So the Jets, they ain't won shit since 54.
Dang.
My mom was 2.
Sorry year. Sorry year.
My mom's in her 70s, fam.
It's our years. So you took the rhetoric from Dallas over here to New York Jets.
Hey, bro, he took the delusion.
The same fucking whole from one team to another. All you switched was jerseys.
Hey, look,
do it.
Hey, I could get behind this train. I can get behind this train if this man did not say the fucking Niners will go represent the NFC. I'm with the Jets. I'm with the Jets for the simple fact of I think Russell Wilson gonna surprise some motherfuckers. I really think Russell Wilson gonna surprise some motherfuckers, and it's gonna be the Broncos and the Jets in the AFC Championship. I really think that. I really think that. All right, come on, go ahead and do all that. You remember what the New Orleans Saints was before Sean Payton got there? I do. I know exactly what the fuck they were like. I know what Sean Payton did for them, and I know what the fuck they became after that. I would watch that shit, and I was mad as a motherfucker. He created Alvin Kamara. He created Drew Brees of now. He created a lot of them motherfuckers that was on that team. Jonathan Vilma was good, but Jonathan Vilma wasn't an amazing player how people see until after Sean Payton got there, bro. He was amazing in college. He was just a college player at that time. He was a Miami college player. But when he got there, the man won Super Bowl, got the fuck out of there. That's what he did. So I'm telling you, Sean Payton is finna impact the fuck out them boys. I'm telling you, I seriously think the Jets and the Broncos are gonna be in the the AFC Championship. I see the Jets being up there.
Hold on, what?
Jets and the Broncos.
Jets and the Broncos in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. I mean, the Broncos got to beat Kansas City. You got to beat the Chargers and the Raiders. Raiders obviously easy because they're about to lose Devontae. The Chargers got the same choking problem as Aaron Rodgers every year he was in Green Bay that they didn't win the championship, which was 1 year. And Pat Mahomes and them, for whatever reason, bro, them boys are so fucking nice. I think they're just going to fuck up. It's just going to be like a random fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, Sean Payton that good of a coach to win, it's going to come down to whoever fucks up first. Like, I'm trying to get you to understand, man. Like, all right. Like, I'm trying to tell you, bro, Sean Payton is an amazing coach. I don't think you understand how happy I was he left. Sean Payton made Jimmy Graham, bro. Jimmy Graham was a no fucking body. He was a basketball player. I'm telling you because I'm a Miami fan. Jimmy Graham went to University of Miami. He was a basketball player. He played football his senior year, some shit like that. But it was not good like that. Like, he was decent, but he was not good. He was not fucking Jeremy Shockey or motherfucking Greg Olsen. Was not. Absolutely was not. I'm going to tell you right now, bro. Sean Payton made him. He made him. He got him that Bears contract, and he got them Seattle
another
contract.
1 or 2 years, but I don't know about right now.
I don't see why not. They had one of the top defenses in the league last year, and they were sorry as fuck. They were sorry. I see the Jets because the Jets make sense. They had a top defense. They got Robert Saleh. All they needed was a quarterback for real. They got a quarterback. I see what he's saying. I don't want to agree with it because Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. I don't want to, but that's all they needed. All they needed was a quarterback. They had a running game. They had receivers. They got a tight end.
Well, they just got Dalvin Cook too.
Okay, they got run game. Him and Breece Hall. They finna run the fucking game. They finna be the number one fucking backfield in the league. I already know that's coming. Him and Breece Hall, number one backfield in the league. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So that's what I'm saying. They up there loading up. Them boys trying to real deal turn the NFL into the NBA. That's tight though. That's tight. The Jets gonna be
creating super teams and shit. I mean, the cap limits are going up and up and up every year. So
contracts from TV
for that to be possible becomes more and more possible every single year that goes by. But getting to the injuries part in training camp. How do you prevent major injuries? I know some of these guys are like practice heroes. They're really trying hard and they make a fucking mistake, like, hurt the quarterback or hurt somebody really important and they get fucking cut the next day. That shit happens. But I feel like the injury rate, and this may just be me, but I feel like the injury rate in training camp has gone up and up and up every year. And I can't necessarily pinpoint the reason why.
Hey, Kay said it the other day. They all that fucking vegetation they eating. They need some meat.
I just was thinking that shit.
He said it best the other day. So he said it. When all them damn injuries back in the day. he just said it.
I swear I was thinking that shit. I swear.
All these weird ass diets and everybody trying to fucking be superhumans when fucking eat some meat and potato, eat right, eat normal. We wasn't fucking made to just eat plants. Or fake plants or whatever the fuck they be eating. They be eating some weird shit these days.
Hey, the shit that's so funny.
I've always
the shit that's so funny is the fact that people go to gorillas and different animals that don't eat meat, right? And they always like, well, all the thing they eat is like plants, vegetables, and bananas and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like nuts. I'm like, well, that's also from fucking goddamn generations and generations of fucking goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Diet and shit like that. So
Evolution.
they evolved to fucking being like that. You know what I mean? They can't just
Yeah.
fucking start
I mean, we
eating
don't know what the
Wendy's.
fuck they ate before. Like we don't know what they ate. You know?
Yeah, bro. Like I'm trying to say, like they could have fucking ate humans. Like those fangs and shit like that they got in their teeth and they grill and shit is not. That's like carnivorous fangs. Like you know what I'm saying? Like get
Am I
gore
wrong
through
in
meat.
thinking this? That silverbacks and stuff like that, they also eat fish?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they can.
If they get
Silverback
their
gorillas?
hands on some fish, I mean, yeah, they'll eat plants, but I don't think a silverback's diet is strictly to plants. I could be wrong on that, but
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't live in those climates to be able to see a silverback. I seen a brown bear out here in California and about shadow myself. So
yeah, I mean, silverbacks eat they eat small animals from time to time. It says.
okay, see, there you go.
Yep.
okay, so yeah,
They're omnivorous. They can eat plants and they can eat both.
Okay, they
Oh,
both
okay.
are.
Yep.
See, that's
they're
what
like
I'm
us.
saying.
Yeah, we're omnivorous. So
That's what
like
I'm
I
saying.
said, we're omnivorous. We're made to eat both, not just one. You gotta have both. So
Yep. And so now we've come up to the solution of how injuries can be minimized in training camp, but there's another thing that's been going on lately that we do want to get to, and it's involving younger athletes going through older problems. We'll get back to that right after this message from our friends over at Raise.
What's up, Jaffo Army? JP here of the All Pro Jaffos, bringing you a message from our proud partners over at Raise Energy. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring the consumer a powerful yet sustained energetic experience to help us put your workouts and focus in general to the very next level. Perfect for anyone at any time. Raise Energy has become the most popular, the best rated energy drink on the market to date, with a phenomenal flavor profile that puts most of the competitors just downright to shame. Powered by the enhanced Refresh technology, Raise Energy delivers with a performance-enhancing energy drink profile that aids in the most often overlooked categories, which include targeted focus, enhanced recovery time, as glycogen becomes depleted, improve clean energy levels, boost in stamina, and in hydration. Most importantly, each can of Raise has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. You should not have to drink or settle for any other energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, opt for the smart choice with the #1 fan voted energy drink on the planet with Raise Energy Drink. Use the promo code ALPHARAISE at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Demand more. Join the Raise Rebellion. Let them know the JAFFOs sent you.
Yep, and I appreciate Raise for being with us since day one. So getting into the topic of younger athletes going through older adult problems, there has been kind of a spike in young athletes having cardiac issues. Just recently, Bronny James had a cardiac event during, a practice at USC. Matt Six, you told me there was another player somewhere that had to deal with it.
same school, yeah. There was another player I guess earlier in the year at USC. Same thing.
So
Cardiac issue.
oh. So what could this possibly be? Out of all the things that could be going on when it comes to, you know, natural causes and stuff like that. We don't generally see young people going through cardiac arrest issues like this. So I'm trying to get to a point and figure out why the sudden spike. Could it be, you know, like some people are suggesting could be long-term side effects of, you know, having COVID and from before, or allergic reaction to the vaccine, or whatever it may, like, could it be genetic issues?
All right, two things.
That's
I
wild.
know that Bronny's a gamer. I'm not entirely sure about his teammate. I don't know his teammate situation.
Mhm.
But I will tell you this: gamers drank the fuck out of energy drinks to stay up. Energy drinks go straight to your heart. Energy drinks speed up the the pace. It makes it rapid, your heart rate. We've seen cases where energy drinks, if you drank too many, that should explode your heart.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? A lot
Yeah.
of companies are leaning towards energy drinks for gamers. Not trying to throw him under the bus because he's one of my favorite artists, but T-Pain has a fucking energy drink for gaming. It's literally for gaming. It's modeled for gamers.
Well, and I think a lot of these energy drink companies, that's why a lot of them have gone to the zero sugar, you know, taking a lot of the chemicals and stuff that they used to have out of it, because of a lot of those issues of, you know, one too many and you're, you know, on the floor and something's extremely wrong with you. You know, you enlarge your heart and everything else like that. You know, so it's kind of gotten to a point where, and I agree, like, he is a gamer. I'm pretty sure he's sponsored by the by FaZe.
He's not sponsored. He's a part of their team.
Oh, well,
he's been a part of their team. That's what I was
so,
kind
you
of
know,
going to get to. Yeah,
that's there already, and I know they're sponsored by Game Fuel or by G Fuel. Um, you know, they have like flavors named after them and everything like that. So it's kind of like there is that idea or risk, but you would think, being like LeBron James' son, he would have a bit more of a better intake on what he probably should and shouldn't be.
why you think that?
I don't know, just looking at what LeBron James's diet and everything else and how he's been able to kind of have a long career,
Okay.
being able to take some of those and use it.
Well, not necessarily, because again, he want to create his own path. That's like the whole thing with Bronny and all that, with the gaming and all that shit. Because LeBron probably played video games, but LeBron was a gym rat. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a motherfucker to be dunking at 12, 13 years old, you had to be a gym rat. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Bronny on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he want to experience shit with his friends. It was social media out now. It wasn't social media like that back then. Like that's pretty much about it. When LeBron was moving around, MySpace and IM and all that shit, because he got drafted in 2003. So AOL, Instant Messenger, that's what LeBron was working with when he was in high school and shit. So Bronny got Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all this shit. Like they're really like talking to their friends, doing all this shit, doing all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's more influenced than LeBron was. All of his friends came to his house, like Drew and all of them boys. They all was at LeBron's house, or LeBron was going to Drew's house. You get what I'm saying? They all was on the same basketball team.
Right, but I look at it, and Matt Six, maybe you can understand this a little bit more. especially when we're talking about, like the younger groups and younger generations that are coming up and how they train and everything else like that. It's come to a generation now, and maybe it is a generational thing, where the emphasis isn't so much on doing the technique and getting better at the sport. It's more on building your brand and kind of relying on natural ability. Is there anything that you've been seeing that the younger generations can maybe learn and change up in order to kind of avoid things like this? If this, in fact, was, you know, part of the reason why Bronny went through what he went through.
I mean, if it's the energy drinks, that's just the world we're in. I mean, everybody right now got fucking energy drinks. Everybody got energy drinks. You can go to Dutch Bros and get an energy drink. Everybody, because it's just right now it's a fast-paced world. Everybody want to stay up. It's team no sleep. That's everybody up doing. It's the nightlife. So if you missing out if you ain't up in the nightlife. So that's when everything happened at night. So my suggestion would be just to kick the energy drinks. Focus on you. You can still have your brand without staying up all night.
Real.
Shit, I don't stay up all night.
But it is something that I think younger players and stuff like that now, it should be kind of a wake-up call because, again, you and I were talking about it yesterday, Mastix, when we briefly saw each other, that, again, we're talking about like elite athletes that are going through this type of stuff. And it's not very often that you see these types of issues. Now, through the years in the NFL and stuff like that, there have been times where we've seen players having to retire because of, they ended up getting a diagnosis that they have an enlarged heart or something that, it's not beating properly or whatever. We've seen that over time, but we haven't seen it to the point where, like, in practices and stuff like that, it's just a freak accident and now you're dealing with a traumatic situation.
Yeah.
Well, that's also contributed to the fact of it's a lot more interaction between the player and the sport now. Like, it was a break back in the day. Like, it was a break. And people had summer breaks and things like that. Just speaking for myself, because he plays basketball. I play AAU basketball and stuff like that. On a really good team. We were really good, made the state and nationals and shit like that. But we had breaks
at that point.
Freshman, probably like 5'9", 5'9.5", 5'10", somewhere up in there.
As a freshman?
Yeah.
When did you really hit your spot? Like,
I had two growth spurts. So I had a growth spurt after freshman year, and then I had one after junior year. So going into my senior year and then going into my sophomore year. Those are my two growth spurts. And then I had another one after I came out here to Cali.
Damn, so you had 3 growth spurts?
Well, that I can remember. I mean, obviously, when I was younger than high school, I don't remember those.
Jesus Christ.
But
I think I only had like 1 or 2, and that was about it.
I mean, everybody has different physical changes in their body and shit. I couldn't say physiology. Anyway, physiological whatever. Right now, it's not fucking working with me. I'm finna goddamn not your dad's root beer this motherfucker up. Goddamn it. Where's my car keys? Anyway, but yeah, no, I just feel like a lot of this shit just comes down to, you know what I mean? They didn't have breaks, so a lot of this is more interactive now. You know what I mean? Like they're going to do their sport at a high rate. Like it's way more tournaments, there's way more pickups, there's way more shit. You know what I'm saying? Now than it was back then. You know what I'm saying? Like way more. You know what I mean? Like at least in my area in the state of Florida, like motherfuckers look for the Team T-Mac fucking tournaments or the Adidas tournaments or the Amari Stoudemire tournaments and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But after that, it was a good break before school. You get what I'm saying? Like it was a good break before school. At least from my shit, because I wasn't one of the elite players. So I was friends with the elite players. You know what I'm saying? I was just overweight. I was good, but I was overweight. So that was my issue. Shit, I am 100% certain of me. So I don't have no problem saying my negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, no, that's just what I'm saying. So I was friends with all of the elite players at the time. So, you know what I mean? Like you get to hang out with them in times I didn't. I know what's going on. They're gone on tournaments that I wasn't invited to. So,
I mean, and then Matt Six, maybe you can clarify for me by seeing it, but since both of those players at USC, both Bronny and his teammate, they went through those cardiac issues. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that there was a rumor going around when this first initially happened that some people were probably asking for USC to get investigated for maybe giving the athletes something that they probably shouldn't be having,
Mm.
and it
Yeah,
had
I
negative
think
side effects.
when it first came out, there were I think it was a UFC fighter had said he had kind of seen this before, and then doctors there was a doctor who came out and said that it seemed like it could be a sign like steroid use is what they were saying at first. But I haven't heard no more of that. We'll never probably really know, what happened. So all we can do is speculate, and these are our opinions of what we think happened, and
Yeah, in no way are we saying this is what actually
yeah,
happened. It's just with the information that we have, it's kind of what we got to run with. Kind of what we got to kind of figure out for ourselves at this point. Again, we don't want, especially, young athletes to be going through this type of stuff. So take care of your bodies, take care of, yourselves, because there could be people out there you don't know who to trust.
eat your meat and potatoes. Y'all got brittle bones. They got brittle bone disease is what they got. That's their problem. They
These
10
diets,
man days.
these diets do tend to get a little out there. I did see
It's
somewhere
like
today
fake
that
everything these
there was a
days.
lady, she passed away for starvation because she was on a 4-month
Oh yeah,
raw
fruit diet.
vegan.
Yeah, some like fruit diet.
Yeah, no, not a fruit
Yeah,
diet, like raw vegetables or something like that.
I know there was another lady who just went on like a fruit diet and died from eating all fruits. She was like some like big time blogger or something like that.
People, you need to understand.
I think y'all talking about the same person. Just
It might
Probably,
be.
yeah.
But people need to understand that there's a balance in things. Yes, like fruits and vegetables and stuff can be good for you. But you ever hear that saying too much of a good thing can sometimes be a bad thing? There is such thing as vitamin C overdoses. There is such thing as all these like other types of yes, it's good for your body, but if you have too much of it, you can have negative side effects because of it.
Yeah, that shit gonna give you the shits too if you eat fruit all day. She probably shit it to death.
But it's like there's a balance to things. You have to have a balance to these things. That's why health is so complicated. So when you see like these all vegan diets, it's kind of, for me, I mean, me personally, if you're gonna do a vegan diet, and I know I have friends of mine who have done, vegan diets and stuff like that. They get their proteins from other sources. That's fine. If it works for them, it works for them. But it's, for me, it's kind of like you need to have that mix of both, because there are things in like red meat and chicken and fish and stuff like that that you can't get
Mm-hmm.
from tofu
Yeah.
and
Tofu.
wheatgrass, and that kind of stuff. So like there's a balance to things. This is just about finding a balance to it. Everybody's different too when it comes to that type of balance. So like when people like these workout plans and stuff like that, yeah, they can work, but sometimes people need to modify what they do for their own physical health, because what works for you may not work for somebody else
Mm-hmm.
in how they develop and build and everything else like that. Now, basic motion, like when it comes to sports, like basic motions and techniques and stuff like that, that's kind of universal. But when it comes to the training and how people build their bodies, diet and exercise differentiates for everybody. So it's kind of, some people get results a little bit faster than others. Some people, it takes a little bit more time, to build up strength and endurance and all this kind of stuff. So find what works for you and go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Really what it is. It's kind of experimenting with yourself. That's really what, like when you're going through weightlifting and, the certain diets and everything else like that. Now in no way, I mean, you could be somebody like, for example, Chad Ochocinco's diet, McDonald's almost every fucking day and still looking like that and playing, that diet wouldn't work for most people. Most people would balloon the fuck up to like 7,000 pounds with that type of diet every
Well, I
single
mean,
day.
if you
I've
work
seen
out,
it.
as much as him, you won't. That's Chad's biggest thing. When people say that, and they refer to if you eat McDonald's, you're gonna. The first thing he says out of his mouth is, "If you work out as much as me, no, you won't." That is his stance, and I kind of agree because it's like you said about balance. If you run more than you eat, you're gonna lose weight. If you run more than you smoke, you're gonna be in condition. So in Chad's case, it's like, yeah, I agree. You're gonna be unhealthy as fuck, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Versus a person that's eating meat and potatoes, like Mashik's saying, and some vegetables and shit. And
Yeah.
you just only eat McDonald's. Yeah, you're gonna be unhealthy in comparison to him. But comparison to a motherfucker like me that don't work out like that as much as I should. I ain't gonna say me because I work out more than I give myself credit for. But I mean, a person that don't really work out like that and they eat the right way, they not gonna be in shape comparison to Chad, no matter what. Like he works out too much, and that's just my only thing with that.
I mean, but it's again, it works for him. It's something that, how many people have that type of, I guess, dedication? Because think about it, like the amount of calories and everything that goes into McDonald's, it's like, how much do you have to really work out to, like, work that off? Talking like hours every day in the gym, like 3 to 4 hours every day in the gym, and then the, hour and a half, 2 to 3 hours of field work. Now, when you're in the NFL, that's kind of your job. It's a mandatory thing. I can understand it. But then outside the NFL, you have to kind of keep up that. I feel like if Chad Ochocinco changed up his workout routine and lessened it by even a little bit, we would see a difference in that balance. But I mean, I'm probably willing to bet that even now he still does the field work. He still does the workout regiments and everything else like that. So it's not hard to believe that somebody like him who has that type of work ethic can keep that physique even eating shit food. But again, we don't recommend that for most people. So, I mean, find what works for you guys. That's really what it all comes down to. Let me see real quick. Gotta. Right, until he, because we're still about to have, or hoping to still have, Hans on to talk boxing, but until that comes around, bro, there's some rumors going around in the A7FL right now, and some of them is making me like really wonder. Now, Mad Six, you were there with us during the championship game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw both teams.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the Tampa Bay Nightcrawlers, and you saw Mark Bagway, do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Bagway is considered to a lot of people to be a front runner for the MVP because the Tampa Bay Nightcrawlers did what they did because Bagway had to do what he had to do because his offensive line, like Rob had said during that recap that we had, that had he had a better offensive line, it would have been even like the scores would have been even worse. There is now a rumor, and Kay, you've been watching as much as I have and stuff. So Madsen, you may not know as much about this team as we do, but you've seen recaps, and I'm sure you've seen games. It's going around that Mark Bagway next season is going to be on the BIC. Now, Kay, if Bagway is really on the BIC, what do you think that does for their team? Especially since what we've seen these last few seasons covering the A7FL.
I don't think you're right there right now.
No, I heard. I was waiting on the full question. I thought he had more to it. But I mean, I don't know. I don't believe Bagway left personally. Like, I seriously don't believe that for two reasons. Bagway didn't respond to him on the motherfucker himself.
There are sources.
So yeah, like all I'm saying is just based off of how everything went down, I highly doubt that he just gonna peel out like that. You know what I'm saying? Everything easy for him right now. Bagway live in Florida. Like, why would you have to travel to Jersey every fucking Saturday night? Like, that's
What if he's
pretty much.
moving?
Say it again.
What if he's moving to Trenton?
Who the fuck moves to Jersey? Like,
I don't know what to tell you.
That shit sounded crazy than getting on the plane every Saturday. Dog, like, what the fuck? Who the fuck moves to Trenton, New Jersey, bro? Like, that's where Shaq from. Have you ever listened to what Shaq talk about where he grew up? Like, have you ever heard that shit? Like, just go listen to what Shaq talk about when he grew up. Ain't nobody moving to fucking Jersey, moving to Jersey, and they not coming from New York. All right, fuck out of here. Yeah, fuck. Nobody going to Jersey. Jersey for what?
So why would you want to leave Tampa Bay, Florida for
New Jersey, bro?
And I'm sure a lot of the guys who live in New Jersey could probably be like, that's fair. Some will probably defend the home, but others might, tend to agree. But from some sources, who I will not name, it's actually looking like it's true. Now.
Because of a post?
Well, because of who said the post.
What the fuck does that mean? That don't mean shit. That motherfucker can lie too. Politicians lie every motherfucking day.
But let's run with the idea that Bagway is going to the BIC. What does that mean? Because Sterry is still there. Are you now going to have a split quarterback situation between Sterry Codrington and Mark Bagway? I mean, the two quarterback system has kind of worked for a lot of other teams, but
well, the champion just had a two quarterback system.
Essentially.
I mean,
they didn't utilize it too much in the game because Scooter was pretty much the starter the whole time.
I mean, it don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? How did you get that? You know what I'm
They
saying?
did have Trey at times there, so.
Yeah, Trey played. Trey basically, just saying to go along with your story, or whatever. I mean, if Bagway do go there, it's gonna be just like how Trey Robinson was for the Insomniacs. He'll fill in where he fill in. The man's obviously an amazing player.
Well, he's an Iron Man too, so he could be used on defense just as much.
I don't know if they'll have to do that unless a lot of their players get like the Insomniacs, they get plucked. You know what I'm saying? Like if they pluck a lot of their guys, then yeah, I see that, but I highly doubt it. Then I mean, we had, you know what I mean? I don't want to bust my man shit, but we had an announcement from the other side of the ball, one of their guys from the, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, gonna be an Insomniac, so that's a defensive guy. You know what I'm saying? So
Matt Six, based on what you've seen, Matt Six,
Mm-hmm.
do you think it would be a good idea for Mark Bagway to leave to a team that already has, kind of, a set former MVP / champion quarterback at the helm?
I mean, we don't know what's going on with that quarterback. So is he playing next year? Is he,
Could Sterry be leaving?
One half of the story. So we don't know the reason behind it.
If Sterry would be leaving and that's the reason why Bagway's there, that yikes, that might actually be bigger news than Bagway joining with Sterry. But I mean, again, that is something that would that make any? I mean, go ahead, Messix.
No, I said like I said, but who would want to move to New Jersey? I ain't never in my life heard of nobody wanting to move to New Jersey, like you said. I know people who live
Tampa,
there who are already there, but not that's like, oh yeah, I'm just leaving California. I'm going to New Jersey.
But okay, so minus the location.
Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. Not you trying to load the question too much. Like, all right, well, I'll go down this hypothetical path, but that's loaded too much.
I'm trying to make it make sense because if you take the fact that if it's moving to Florida, to New Jersey, whatever, we're looking at the quality of teams and who, what team is better than what and stuff like that. If you take out the location of the teams, does this move make any sense?
See, that's the thing. You can't take out the location of the team. Like, that's the biggest issue. Because if you remove the location of the team, then you're like, oh, everybody's equal. Pick a team. Like, nah, that the reason why the location matters is because of all of the elements that come with it. The quality of player that come with it. If Bagway moved to Ohio, I think my boy on meth. On some real shit. Because there's no reason to go the fuck up there. You know what I'm saying? There's damn near like Jersey, like a close second. You know what I'm saying? Like a close, there's no reason to go to fuck to Jersey, bro. Like outside of, if you're not working or handsomely getting paid, there is absolutely no reason to go to fucking New Jersey, bro. For real. I'm telling you, you're going to move from Tampa, beautiful ass Tampa, to motherfucker. Granted, motherfuckers that crazy as shit too. No, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you're going to fucking Jersey, bro.
People are willing to do things for championships, man.
Man, fuck that. Bagway just went to the goddamn, he went to Bullhead out of Tampa. Why would you fucking leave? Like, you got a guaranteed road to the playoffs if you really think about it. Like, I don't like doing that kind of shit because I you know what I'm saying? I'm a competitor myself. So it's like, I wouldn't.
But realistically looking at it, yes. It is the easiest route.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at it from the easiest standpoint, but at the same time, you don't know what the effect of them going to Arizona might do to the rest of Florida. Like, you might get a lot of guys come play that shit because word of mouth is real. Like in Florida, I'm telling you, that shit real as fuck. And Lakeland and Tampa, that shit, they 30 minutes away, but them motherfuckers, for whatever reason, like news get the fucking Lakeland from Tampa quicker than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? All over the state, honestly. So I'm man, look, I highly doubt Bagway gonna go to fucking unless
If
he's getting
anything, he's
paid.
going to try and recruit bigger, better linemen to join the team
Well, I ain't
than
gonna
to move.
say that. I don't necessarily think that was the lineman. Like everybody look at it from that standpoint, thinking that the lineman was the case. I mean, then
Were
some
they not a
asshole.
factor in it? I mean, shit, they were in. Bagway had to run for his life almost immediately.
Okay, but was motherfucking Scooter getting protected that well too?
Scooter was getting much better protection than Bagway was.
See, now you're comparing. I'm saying as far as just looking at the shit, I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying Scooter really wasn't getting protected either. Because Florida D-line was getting up in that motherfucker too now.
I mean, they were.
And that's a big boy. So you see what I'm saying? It ain't like Scooter out there really scooting. You hear what I'm saying? Like he probably was Scooter back in the day. Like Scotty Miller, he could be like that back in the day, but on Scooter up today, nah. Scooter up today. That's why I say
that,
like.
So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, "There's no way." Like, really? Like, is there like he's really gonna go to the BIC? Now, there are other people that we know that went from the Silk City Animals. Baby Joker, Isaac Gomez, is now a member of the BIC. That rumor of Bagway going to the BIC is out there. And
Baby Joker. What team did he come from?
he from the Animals where Huff was playing.
Oh, that was in Jersey though.
Yeah. So it's not too far of a move, when it comes to a team. But apparently there's more to the addition of the team, and they're retaining a lot of the players that they already had. So it's not like new players are coming in, other players are coming out, like they're swapping players. No, all the legit good players on the BIC are still sticking around, and then they're adding more pieces to the puzzle. And as far as I know, when it comes to the rumors of Bagway and, Baby Joker joining the team, and that's just the beginning, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what the BIC does in order to reload in the next season. Now the U got to make some sense. Huff went on, commented on Trey Robinson stuff, talking about he might just get his own team. And he already left, the U to go bring an Animals team that was in, hadn't won a game at all into the playoffs. If Huff gets his own super team, shit, he might be, a favorite to make it into the finals. Because Huff is who Huff is. He's considered to a lot of people in the A7FL to be the greatest quarterback in history for them. But I mean, we'll see. There's a lot of things coming for, we had Derek Duncan. There's a lot of things that they're planning on doing these next few seasons. And Trey Robinson and a couple of other players, moving from the East Coast to Vegas. Could we be seeing more of that? Guys from, Keno Thomas, who was quarterback for the Chaos. He was in attendance for the game. What are the odds of Keno Thomas moving from Ohio to join a team in Vegas?
100 to fucking 0. It makes sense.
You
leaving Ohio. Come on. You can't go see Dave Chappelle 7 days a week, bro.
Nope. Can't. But I mean, now we're going into the 10th season of the A7FL. The fall brawl registrations and everything are already going on. Again, we're already seeing movement inside the A7FL. So it's going to be definitely something to keep an eye on, and obviously something that we are extremely interested in going forward. Now, ladies and gentlemen, got to bring him in now because it was probably one of the craziest things that we thought was going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing him back. Thank you, Mr. Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, Boxing Writers Association member, Mr. Hans Themistode. Hans, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
We have been doing just fantastic. What the hell happened this weekend? I know you weren't expecting that. I know I wasn't expecting that. I know most of the people around the fucking world wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
From what you saw, what went on this weekend?
I think both might be expecting it, but
The what?
I think
Oh, you did.
I think both was expecting it. It was I don't know, man. That might have been the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, man. It just didn't make any sense, brother. Didn't make any sense, man.
It was kind of like it wasn't even close. To be honest, I was actually surprised people gave Spence the first round because I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Spence got any rounds throughout the fight. It was just completely controlled by Crawford the whole time. And that first one that put Spence down, I kind of started to think, I'm like, really, a jab, flash jab is what put him down. You know, for the first time, I saw your reaction to that. I know what my reaction, like everybody that I was around, I was watching the fight, were like, are you serious? But
Yeah.
a lot of people are trying to, say, especially for Spence, that he looked tired going into the fight.
Man, I wouldn't say
that he looked a little dehydrated, I guess.
He definitely looked dehydrated for sure. He looked weight drained. He just looked really weak, man. Just really, really weak. Didn't really make any sense, man. That's the only thing I could really come up with. Like, he just must have been extremely weight drained, man. For a guy who's normally, as sturdy as they come, and to I understand Crawford hits hard, obviously, but to get dropped with a jab, it happens, but it's not supposed to happen to Spence. And to get dropped 2 more times after that, man, and to get wobbled a bunch more times after that, like, he must have been weight drained, man. I don't really want to take anything away from Crawford, but he must have been weight drained, man. Had to be.
It did look, when I saw when he was the walk in, it was like, huh. So I was like, I don't know if it's just me or something looks odd. He doesn't look like he's into it. Like, he doesn't look like he's. I was like, this doesn't.
He never really looked like he's into it, man. To be
okay, so then that might just be him. That might just be him then. But it just looked, something was off. And then when Crawford came in, it was obviously like, oh, there's a different look to this man.
How you doing?
Right now, so after the first knockdown, I even said at one point, and the commentators and stuff like that, they were making it seem like still Crawford was still kind of respecting what Spence could do, because at one point I was like, this is what playing with your food looks like. Because he was just it looked like he was just toying with him. He was just going around the ring and just beating the shit out of Spence the entire fight.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what he was doing. I would never say that he was very toying with him. I think he was just being smart, man. Like he knew that Spence is a different animal, man. And even though he dropped him and he hurt him a bunch of times, like he knew, like, I gotta be careful. Like this is still Errol Spence Jr. here, so But then it came to a point where Crawford was just like, all right, man, let me get this guy out of here. But yeah, I think he was just being really respectful, just everything that Spence brought to the table, man. So I don't think he was playing with him at all. I don't think so, anyways.
It looked at one point, especially after I think it was the second time he knocked him down, when he looked at Charlo out of ringside.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the confidence level is way too high. There's no beating this man.
Yeah, that's just savagery at its best, man. Like that dude is different, man. That's all it is. He's different, man.
Talking shit to another fighter saying you're next
He's
after
not
knocking down your opponent.
But he's not even talking shit to a regular fighter. He's talking shit to another pound for pound guy while he's in the midst of beating up another pound for pound guy. Like, yo, that's next level right there, man.
I mean, it started getting to the, especially after this performance. Cat is trying to be an asshole. After this performance, a lot of people are thinking Bud could have been part of the Four Kings conversation.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say he could have beat like Mayweather, but
oh no, I wasn't gonna get into that. I saw that conversation. I was like, stop, way too soon, knock it off. But part of the Four Kings conversation, like I guess you could say a Mount Rushmore of an era type of thing. Is he on that level?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think he's like, yeah, he's on that. I think he's on that level. I think he's, practically skill wise on the Floyd level. Maybe like a half of, like, not even a half step below that. But yeah, I think he could have competed and beat all of those guys, man. To be honest, maybe not all of them, maybe not all of the Four Kings, but because out of the Four Kings, I think everybody agrees that Sugar Ray was the best one. He was the only one that beat everybody. He beat literally everybody. Duran only beat Sugar. He lost to, Hearns, and he lost to Hagler. Hagler beat Duran and Hearns, but he lost to Sugar. So, I think I think he's right there, man. I think he's right there. Could he have beaten them all? I think he could have. Tommy Hearns would have been like a real friggin' issue. A real issue, man. But yeah, I think he's right there, man. I think he could have. Doing those hypotheticals are always tough because it's like,
you never really know.
And when you also look at it, Duran was really at his best at 35. And Hagler, he never left 160. So it's kind of like, okay, like, what is Crawford gonna move up to 160 to fight a Hagler? Like, are we talking about the 135 version of himself that's fighting a Duran? Because I don't think that version of him could have beaten a Duran. The version of him now to beat a 147 Duran, but 35 was really when he was really at his best. So it's kind of hard to say, but I do think that he's right up there with all of those guys, man. He's a historically great fighter, man.
Okay, so since it popped up into my head, do you think there's a possibility he could get to the level of Floyd?
Well, what do you mean by get to the level of Floyd?
Maybe record-wise.
No, because he's about to be 36 next month. He has 40 fights. He fights once, maybe twice a year. Now you'd be talking about him fighting until he's about 41, 42, which it seems like he could really do it because he really takes great care of himself. I don't think he'll be around for that much longer. I do think there's a very, very, very good possibility that he probably retires undefeated. But it depends.
Undefeated and undisputed, huh?
Yeah, but it depends, man. That brother named Boots, man. That brother right there, man. He's probably the only guy at 47. Not even probably. He is the only guy at 47 that can really, really, really compete with Spence.
So then, do you think that we'll get a Spence Crawford too?
Yeah, and I hope so. I really, really hope so. I hope it's at 54.
Before or after this?
Nah, before. Gotta be before.
Okay.
Has to be before. But I hope it does happen, man. Like, people really annoy me. Yeah, Spence got the crap beat out of him. Like there's no way around it. But Spence is a great, great, great fighter, man. And he had a really bad night. But I just refuse to believe that Crawford is that much better than him. Like I just refuse to believe that. He's not. He's probably better, and Crawford probably will win a rematch, but I think that Spence can win that rematch at 154 pounds, man. I would love to see it. He's still a great fighter, so yeah, I need to see that rematch, man. I need to.
Okay. Matt Six, did you have something?
Oh man, I'm over here joking. Hold on, keep going.
Hey, look. So I want to say, firstly, thank you for doubling back with the Raiders hat. I really appreciate it. I'm not a Raiders fan at all, at any slightest. I'm just giving shit to Josh. That's first. And secondly, where do you see? So let me ask this first. Do you think this is the biggest fight that Crawford is gonna have in his career?
For sure. For sure. I mean, because, well, I don't know, because then you start saying other stuff, like the Jamel Charlo fight would be a really, really big one, but it doesn't have that ridiculous buildup that Spence and Crawford had. You know what I mean? It was just like we were waiting on that fight for years. And a lot of people don't even have Jamel. I don't know why, but they don't have Jamel in their top 10 pound for pound. I have him number 4. But, everybody had Spence like around 3, 4, 5. Crawford like 1 or 2. And so, yeah, I would think Jamel would be it. The only guy, which, it'll be a bigger fight for sure if he was to fight Canelo. But that fight seemed a little bit far-fetched. Maybe. Maybe it could happen. We've seen some like really weird shit happening and whatever. Like if Jamel could go up and fight him, I could see a world where Canelo was just like, all right, I'll fight him at a catchweight. And if that happens, then that's going to be his biggest fight. But no other fight outside of a Canelo fight will be Crawford's biggest fight. No other fight.
And I think we can all agree 1 and 2 pound for pound. It's Crawford and Neuer. Who do you see after that in your pound for pound list?
Pound for pound for me, I'd say Crawford's 1, Inouye's 2, Usyk is 3, Jermell is 4. I know that's the top 4 for sure in order. The rest of the 6, not in order. I would say again, not in order, but Fury, still got to put Fury in there.
I'd put him at the bottom of the list. That's just me.
How you feeling, man?
You got P5, right?
Yeah.
Oh, add me, son. Give me
Hold on a second, yeah.
Man, bro.
Getting recognized and getting added in the middle.
That's how it be sometimes.
Times, man. Hans is a big deal. You signing an autograph right now too? But no, like I do agree with him. Canelo fight would be nuts.
Like I said, Fury's in there for like 5. I mean, not in order for the rest of the 6, but Fury's in there. I put Teofimo, I put Shakur. Bivol, Beterbiev. That's 5. And one more. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. But yeah, those guys right there. I want to say Devin Haney, but I really got Devin Haney probably like number 11 because I know I'm forgetting somebody. But once it comes back to my mind, then
You're forgetting Tank.
Yeah, there you go, Javante. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
I was actually gonna say Kay. I think brought it. I think you put a post or retweeted or said something about it. But Kay, the idea of Crawford and Tank happening. Who do you think would have that fight? Let him know what you thought about that one, Kay.
Well, I mean, I didn't think we was gonna talk about that at all, but shit. I'm a heavy Tank fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like heavy. I'm heavy Tank fan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm siding with Tank. I feel what Bud got going on and what he did. I love how he be talking. I love how he be going, especially how we just seen him talking and then just went out there and made my boy turn into Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns. Hey, shout out to boy Doug. Shout out to boy Doug, because I fully agree with you. I'm telling you, that'll be a big fight. I feel that'd be a big fight. I feel like Tank will whoop him though. Just like Tank said. He said 6. Tank said 6. Said 6. I feel him. Shit.
You got to be related to Tank, man. Like
I'm not from Baltimore, and no slight.
Nah, you definitely from Baltimore, bro.
No.
This guy's bugging.
Hey, I gotta be. I fought with Tank though.
I mean, it's funny because I was actually gonna say a Tank versus Crawford fight is actually that would be like another like gigantic fight. But I mean, I don't really see that fight happening. I don't see Crawford trying to give Tank no type of advantages in terms of like meeting him at a catch weight. I don't see that happening, and I don't see Javante going all the way up to 47 to fight. Not to fight Crawford. I don't think so. But if it did happen, Tank is great, man. I probably have Tank number 5 or 6 on my pound for pound list. But no, he's not beating Crawford, man. He's not beating Crawford, brother. You gotta cut that out. He's not beating Crawford. You gotta relax.
I've said more ridiculous shit that came true on this show. That came true.
I can wholeheartly agree.
And I know wherever you're gonna be at when you see that fight, if it ever comes to fruition and Tank wins, you can be like, fuck. You just gonna remember this moment.
It depends on when the fight happens, man. If the fight happens when Crawford is still like still undefeated at the top of his game, sure, I'll be like, and if he loses, I'll be like, all right, y'all got it. But if Crawford is really slipped at the time, by the time they fought, maybe he has like 1 or 2 L's, then I'm not gonna come back and give you guys credit because that's not the same Crawford.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is fair.
He's not beating him, no, man. You got to chill, man. He's not.
Hey, I think Tank might come out that motherfucker at 47, but that's neither here nor there.
47. He's at what? 32 right now?
It's
35.
35. Sorry.
It was a joke. It was just a joke. It was a little joke.
I don't know if that was a joke with you, man. I don't know. About that one.
Hey, man. Hey, look. I go hard for the things I'm fans of.
I hear you.
Sometimes it's a little delusional, but you know.
I'm not. First off, you are a Niner fan.
I know. So I share in your delusion.
I've been a Tampa Bay Buck fan. So come on, man. I ain't been delusional in the slightest.
Oh man. He said Tanks walks around at 150 easy. Ooh.
That doesn't mean anything, though, man. Crawford walks around at 60s. I don't care what Crawford walks around at, man. Crawford ain't losing to Tank, brother. It's not happening, man. And Tank is great, man, but he's not losing to Crawford, man. He's not moving up 2 weight classes to fight the best guy in the world right now and winning. It's not happening. No, absolutely not, man. Nah, no way.
I mean, I've seen film on Crawford and everything, turning it on, flipping it. I saw what he did against Porter too, and I was like, oh no. I was like, this guy is, that killer instinct and that everybody talks about. But I would
Yeah.
love to see, Tank versus Crawford. That would be pretty cool to see.
It'd be cool. I'd rather see Tank fight anyway. If we're gonna talk about like guys that are gonna like move up and stuff like
See,
that.
that would be, Inoue and Tank would be nice.
Yeah, I'd rather see that because they're like practically the same size. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Crawford and Tank get in the ring with each other. It's gonna be like, you can tell the difference. In a way, they're like almost the same size, so it won't look too crazy. But I'd rather see him fight in a way. Rather see him fight Shakur. Rather see him fight Devin. Those kind of guys. Like, just leave Crawford alone, man. Trust me, that's not gonna end well, man.
So with this fight that happens, everyone talked about it as, the biggest fight of, the last, 10, 20 years. Is there any other fight in your mind that can top this level of buildup?
Like just level of build up, or you mean like pay-per-view numbers, or
Or just like in your mind, what would be considered like the best matchup that could possibly happen that could, beat pay-per-view numbers or build up the hype around it, possibly two undefeated, fighters. But is this as big as it gets for a while, or is there something that could come out that could be a little bit bigger?
I mean pay-per-view numbers. I've always said that this fight was not going to be bigger than Tank versus Ryan, and it's not. Once those numbers come out, it's not going to be bigger than that. Um, Numbers wise, pay-per-view numbers. I think a fight like I think a fight maybe between like Devin and Devin and Javante, Devin and Shakur, like pay-per-view wise, I think those fights will be like bigger and better. Um, but just in terms of like the build-up, it's kind of hard, man, because this build-up was prolonged for so long, so that it made a lot of people. It turned off a few people because it took so long, but it was also just like, man, like this is the fight we've all been waiting for. You know what I
Mm.
mean? The next really big one, I mean, I'd probably say Shakur and Tank. That's probably a really big one, provided if Canelo beats Jamel, Canelo and David Benavidez. That's probably like the number one fight that people will be like, okay, I really want to see it. Because I don't know, to me, when Canelo fights Jamel, that's gonna be a spectacle, man. Like that's gonna be a gigantic fight. So yeah, that's what I would say.
And before we let you go, we saw it on there, and I was thinking about it, and I was wondering what you thought. Caleb Plant slapped the absolute tar um, out of Charlo,
Man,
and then there was a video of him going through security, kind of a dickhead move.
yeah.
Um, in I mean, thoughts on him getting slapped and not really doing much about it afterwards, and then thoughts on how he handled himself with the security guards.
I mean, the slap was crazy. That to open hand slap another man is that is all time disrespectful, man. Like I gotta fight you every time I see you. Every, every single time, man. Like, I mean, I don't care if you was at that fight with your wife and kids, dog. Like, I walk past, we getting it on right there. Like, there's no way, man. But it was definitely weird because like you don't really see stuff like that between fighters. You know, like fighters that just like talk a lot of shit, but you know, like it never actually gets physical, man. But Caleb Plant he's really like with it. Like whatever you want to do, Caleb Plant is down for it, man. But yeah, no, the slap was pretty surprising, but well, more surprising was Jamal's response to it. If you look like after the fact that like immediately after, he just kind of like walked in the other direction, put his hands up. He didn't like start going crazy like you think anybody would once somebody else does that to you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And especially because he's not a regular person. He's a human. I mean, not a human. He's not a regular person. He's a fighter. You know what I mean? So it was surprising to see him kind of act like that. And the whole security thing, to me, I mean, look, everybody saw the video of him getting slapped. So that is I'm pretty sure he was really embarrassed by that, man. I'm pretty sure. And, you know, probably a lot of people probably looking at him like, yo, he's soft. You know, so I think he just kind of used that moment to, you know, kind of show like, you know, like I'm not soft, I'm not tough. I mean, I'm not soft, I'm tough. I'm going to my seat. Y'all not telling me nothing. You know, just kind of having that extra bravado because of that moment, man. It obviously wasn't cool. You know, it didn't really like do anything for him. You know, it might have just
Yeah.
like put his stock down a little bit more, but that's what I thought it was. And yeah, I'm telling you, man, if I was Jamal, I'd have called Al Heyman immediately after. And like, look, man, I need to be on this Spence versus Crawford undercard against Plant right now. Like, I need to fight this brother right now. Like, there's no tune-ups, nothing like that, man. Like,
I
that
don't
is
think
my
my man
next
had it
move.
in him. I don't think my man had it in him, to be real with you, not to cut you off, Hans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he had it in him because if you remember the slap, he stood there for like 2 seconds. Like, did he
And he
just
just
slap
looked
me?
at him like that Kevin Hart meme that.
Yeah.
It was like I don't really know what to do, and then he didn't really look too eager to get to him.
He didn't. He really didn't. But
Maybe
look,
he was just as shocked as everybody that he just got slapped.
Man,
I
after
mean,
about
I get it,
Maybe
bro.
he's just soft. I mean,
I'm not gonna call Jamal Charlo soft, man.
because you're gonna slap me and I ain't finna do nothing. We finna tear up the whole backstage. The whole arena finna get tore up.
Yeah, I mean, look, some people are, I mean, I guess soft. You know, like you could do something like that to somebody, and you know they'll react in that way. But it's just weird because Jamal is a fighter. He's a great fighter, man. So it's really surprising to just see him just like react in that way when somebody else did that to him. But
And
yeah,
maybe he was just turning the other cheek.
nah, nah,
Well, his cheek got turned before that point. Like,
nah, man. But yeah, I got to see that fight, man. That's the fight, man. I think that's gonna happen next year. Has to.
next year, that's kind of far from now.
Well, because I assume that Jamal's gonna be back for the end of the year. I assume he's gonna fight a guy who's like halfway decent, and he's only gonna fight one time this year. So I'm just like, all right, yeah. But yeah, for me, if that was me, that's got to be my next fight, man. I don't care about anything else, man. That's my next fight. Let's sign that up. Let's make that happen. So yeah, that's just me.
He's got to get his reputation back after that one.
Yeah,
But
you got to.
but Hans, always good to have you on, my friend. Appreciate you coming on to talk about everything that happened this past weekend. Get to talk to you soon, my friend. There's a lot of fights coming up, so hopefully a lot of opportunities we get to have you on the show.
For sure. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night, guys.
Absolutely. Hans Themistode, ladies and gentlemen. And always good, again, to have Hans on the show to talk boxing. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that video, but Caleb Plant really did slap the absolute taste out of his mouth, and he did nothing. So we'll see how that goes. Look at that. Everybody had pretty much the same reaction. Masters is like, fuck no. We're tearing
Hey, you see what my thing say? Fuck around and find out.
Fuck.
hold on, give me 10 seconds.
What? Yeah.
He's got it built up right now. I know damn well he would have started like Undertaker fucking choke slamming people.
Oh yeah, like I said, that whole arena would have been torn. We would have
Bro.
still been fighting to this day.
Hold on, I had to unmute the mic as I was trying to let Matt Six finish what he was saying. But bro, whew. Hey, look, I ain't got 2 black belts like Matt Six, but not now one of them would have stopped me from getting the buddy. I promise, Lord. Hey, not now one of them. I'm gonna tell you that right motherfucking night. You hear me? Hey, not now one of them would have got. What? Look, hey, why? Hey, why? Hey, why? I had to go to Florida one time. Hey, look, why? Hey, ain't no motherfucking way now. Hey, shit, in me. I thought I had to load in the damn thing, but I had to reload. I had to log in again, so it didn't say that picture. So I'm trying to find that motherfucker.
Yeah, I love how Hans is like, I don't think he's soft or anything. Massey's like, maybe he's just soft.
Bruh, that shit had me crying. I had to mute the mic. I was over here hollering. I was over here fucking hollering. I'm like, no.
He's like, no, maybe it is just maybe he is just soft. I love it. It's like, nah, I'm not trying to hear it. The man's soft. Fuck that. We all would. Yep.
Hey, we was in full agreement. Hey, look, just like that, my man in the background say, look, the more you fuck around, the more you will find out. The more you will now, you gonna find the fuck out. You better make sure you're ready like Pops.
Yeah. Yep. You win some,
you
you
ain't
lose
ready
some.
like Pops.
You didn't do it.
We'll be over there fucked up.
That was absolutely ridiculous. That it happened. But before we actually sign off for the night, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Sticks, can you do the favor of introducing our featured artist for this episode?
Who we got? We got the Spare Time Heroes today.
Yes, sir.
Got the Spare Time Heroes. Yeah, Spare Time Heroes. Before we get to the video, August 25th. If you local, come to the show. They headlining at the Guild Theater. Tickets $15 in advance, $20 at the door. I got hard tickets. You can go online. But yeah, Spare Time Heroes, a group of guys that I work with. They 90s hip hop. You know, it's that old school 90s hip hop. We just did the State Fair last week, and you know, we just blowing up. So check out this video that they did a while back. We got some new content coming soon. But there you go, the Spare Time Heroes.
Pledge allegiance to hip-hop, it keeps me breathing. Plus I do it for that one fan listening on the weekend. One fan, two adores. One fan, who won't ignore us? One fan to prove the tree really fell in the forest. Is anybody out there? The track as it plays, it's like a message in a bottle that was cast on the waves. I'm being as real as it gets when I'm flipping the shit. Just need one to let me know I really exist. It don't work without you, so to you I salute. I'm just being sincere the same way I do in the booth. I write raps for the one, make tracks for the one. Every time I meet the one, I shake hands and dap it up and give thanks, cause that one is my energy source. It's that one that mean more to me than any award. Keep listening and forcing me to sharpen my sword, and as soon as you think we're done, we'll keep rocking some more. Just one.
One over a million, the feeling's the same. Everything we do, we hope that a connection is made. To the one who is receiving the vibe that we're sending. The one who is believing in all we're intended to do or to make. Cause one's all it takes for us to continue to grow and create as much as we can, even for one fan. We'll set aside some time to make it right, so please understand that the minutes turn to hours, hours into days and nights. Using every chance I get debating on the words I write. Cause we might make a difference to the one who wants to listen to the things that we say. So we take on the position as heroes. So here goes my love and my all. Because of one fan, I stand 100 feet tall. Just one to motivate us when we losing our steam. Just one to cheer our name and validating our dreams. Just one.
Fucking yeah, ladies and gentlemen. I fully agree with you, Doug. Good beat, good music, and that's what we're trying to bring to this show.
And I love the fact that they said half-ass production. I love that shit. I love that shit.
And what's funny is all those people in the video was all people we work with. It was all coworkers.
I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I'm like, those are the easiest people to get.
Yep.
Like, you hold this up right quick, just put a one up.
Some of that shit looked like some of it was done right there at the store. So,
hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. That shit was fire. That shit was fire. I've never heard that song. That shit was fire, bro.
Yeah, they got all that music. They got a couple, like pretty much every show we do, they record a new track. So they got a couple new ones out. They got this trilogy called Memory Lane. It kind of goes through, but then the two of the last songs was pretty dope because one is called Saturday Morning, and it's talking about sitting there, getting up watching Saturday morning cartoons. So they go through the whole, all the different cartoons, and then the other one is Saturday Afternoon, where it's talking about cartoons overtime to play outside, so going outside, slide, let's go outside. Cartoons overtime to go outside. So, it's cool little, catchy beats.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Loving it. And that's what we're trying to do more of here on the All Pro JAFFOs. Ladies and gentlemen, trying to get featured artists and stuff like that to get the local talent and everything out there to be able to spread the word on these local artists, because as you just saw right there, there's a whole lot of talent out there that needs to be showcased. So as you see at the social medias right there at the bottom, you guys, any artists, or if you know any artists, hit the DMs, let us know, hit the comments, tag us with their profiles or whatever, let us know where these guys are at or these ladies are at, so we can get them on here and showcased on the show. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for
don't
being
send
with
us no
us throughout the
bullshit.
entire show.
Hey, don't send me shit. Don't send me a goddamn thing.
Send it to the JAFFOs, the All Pro JAFFOs right here. It's all right there. That's where you send it to, not to K.
Shit.
Or DJ Man Sticks. This shit right
send it to me.
This shit right there. That's the music dude.
Right here, DJ Man Sticks.
Hey, do not send that motherfucker to the guy with the football background. Don't send that shit to me.
That's fair. Yes.
Do not send it. I put that background up to let you know I am not the music guy.
Send it to Mad Six. You see it right there, DJ Mad Six. Send it to him so he can screen it. He can let us know if it'd be good enough to be on the show. Let him know, because again, he is the musical mind and the best fucking DJ on the planet, after all.
I got an artist for you. I'm gonna send the song. I got a guy. He already gave us permission earlier in the show, and we just wasn't doing music yet. I'm gonna send you the song and get you to check it out.
Cool.
He got a lot. I think he hit a lot of songs. I got a few guys. I'm gonna send them all to you. Just to let them know we involved in this shit too, because it just came to me spontaneously. We're involved too. We gonna give people too. So you got competition, motherfuckers.
We appreciate Hans Themistode for being on the show and talking boxing with us. And as always, for the highly elevated sports talk, for the highly elevated sports fan, the All Pro JAFFOs, we appreciate you guys. For myself, JP, for the 610 Beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K, and the best DJ of all time, Mr. DJ Mad Six. We'll see you guys next time.
Hold on.
Oh.
It's my birthday.
What?
Yeah, my birthday August 3rd, but it's 12 o'clock in Florida. This is my birthday.
Oh shit! Happy birthday!
Appreciate it. Yeah. I was waiting to 9. That's why I was filibustering a little bit. I was trying to be on the show at 9 o'clock, so that's kind of what I was trying to do. That was like my little thing.
There you go. Happy birthday. Okay, so we ended the show right on time for Kay to announce his birthday for Eastern Standard Time, at least.
Well, that's where I'm from, shit. So I better catch up.
Appreciate the JAFFO Army. We'll see you guys next time. Later.
Peace.